Hello everyone, Tutu Mora here with The Why, bringing you tools to feel well in your body, mind, and spirit. Today we're going to be going over some tips for walking safely in snowy and slippery conditions. So a number of falls and injuries can happen when it starts to get slick outside. And so the more that you're able to kind of warm up and prepare for that walk and know kind of the stance that you can take to move a little bit more safely, it can prevent potential injuries. So what we're going to do to start, you won't need any props here today, is just to adopt a standing position here. And I'm going to tilt my screen down so you can see. We're going to do a couple movements that you can use before you go outside, just to warm up the knees, warm up the hips, warm up the ankles, so that you can be a little bit more loose when you do get out for your walk. And then we'll go over some safe ways to walk. So you can go ahead and adopt a comfortable standing position here. Now, let's see my lovely fox socks here. It's pretty cold here in Chicago right now. So what we're gonna do to start is just to simply bend the knees. Now, little hinge at the hip here, so you're kind of sitting back into your sit bones. And we're gonna bring the feet together. So finding that little stance, and we're gonna slowly rotate those knees around the ankles, trying to keep those feet flat on the floor. And so just taking your time, making sure you've got that kind of hinge in the hip and that your back is flat and straight. So you don't wanna be arching the back as you do this. Really let yourself sit back into your sit bones as you just move those knees and legs around the ankles. One more time in this direction, and then we'll reverse. Just taking it at your own pace. And we'll take two more here in this direction. Last one. Standing up. And then I'm gonna have you come to a comfortable seated position for the next exercise. We're just going to work on a little ankle mobility here. So, letting your feet just rest however they're comfortable. We're gonna start, I'm gonna move one of my feet just to the side so you can see. But I want you to bring all of your toe knuckles, balls of the feet flat on the floor here. And almost like you're really spreading your foot wide, like a little flipper. And we're gonna start to just lift that heel up, keeping all of those knuckles and toe connections, ball of the foot connection, and rest back down. Only taking this to the range that feels comfortable and really feeling as though you're just shortening and lengthening that Achilles tendon here. And just taking it back and forth. Now, as you do this, thinking about the rest of your body. So allowing your back to, once again, adopt a comfortable and aligned posture. And we'll just take this a few more times, opening up that range, making sure that this space stays wide and flat on the floor. Three more. And when you're done, let's just gently rotate that ankle a couple times in one direction and in the other. And then we'll take that to the next foot. So once again, I'm gonna move my other foot out of the way, but I would recommend that you adopt kind of a nice aligned feet hip distance apart posture for this. Okay. So just tilt my screen down so you can see. Now, once again, let's create that feeling of being wide through the foot here, Find that connection between all your toe knuckles and the floor, as well as the ball of the feet, that whole width of the foot and the floor. And we'll start to just lift up. Noticing how it feels from side to side. So you might notice that there's a difference in how this side feels from the other. Maybe one side feels a little tighter. So taking your time, just treating this and meeting this where it's at today. Now we're going to take this 5 more times, lifting and lowering, but of course, you're welcome to spend some more time with this if you feel like that would be supportive for you today. So really use this as an invitation to help you feel a little bit more prepared before you head outside. Resting back down, and we'll take that same, just rotating a few times in one direction and then taking the other direction. Resting back down. And so now we're going to come back to a standing position. Noticing how your feet feel resting on the floor here. So maybe they feel a little bit like they have more contact with the floor. And so finding those feet flat on the floor now, little bend through the knees, and I want you to take a little hinge through the hip here. So this is kind of the stance that we want to adopt when we're walking on a slick surface, really keeping that bend, a little softness through the leg there, keeping that hinge in the hip, and most of your weight towards the balls of your feet. So if most of your weight is towards the heels, you're more likely to kind of fall backwards. So finding that position here, and we're just gonna start to rotate those hips, keeping that softness through all of your joints. We're just going to, as if you're kind of hula hooping, real slow. So just taking it here, we'll take it a few times in one direction, a few times in the other, but let this range just start to open up for you a little bit. And other direction. Just bringing in a little opening. So you have more softness, more looseness as you walk. All right, one more time here. And then go ahead and stand up. Find that posture that you want to adopt when you're walking on the slick surface here. So once again, soft bend through the knees, little hinge in the hips so you're kind of sitting back into your sit bones, and letting the weight rest on the balls of your feet here. Now, kind of what you want to do is you walk on that slick surface. So you're going to want to keep your feet relatively flat on the ground and just try to slide those feet, really making sure you stay kind of loose and light. Again, keeping the weight on the ball of the foot here. So kind of just like a slow shuffle. And take that one more time in the other direction, finding that looseness and taking that slow shuffle. Letting this softness and letting that feeling of sitting into your sit bones and resting on the balls of your feet help keep you feeling supported. Now, if you do have the option, sometimes if there's snow nearby, it's a safer option to walk in the snow instead of walking on that slick surface. So pay attention to the options that are available to you when you're walking. And it's always a good idea if you know that it's slippery outside and there is a potential of feeling unsafe, just letting a trusted friend or neighbor or family member know that you're taking a walk outside, where you're going and how long you might be, letting them know when you get home, just so you have that little safety net in case something should happen. So as always, it's a good idea to stretch and move before you go on your walk to make sure you're feeling a little looser, and to adopt that kind of soft and supported shuffle as you make your way through some of those slicker areas. So stay safe, and I hope you found this video supportive. Take care, and I'll see you next time here on the Wise YouTube channel.